It's an uphill climb, but yeah, early on they knew, right? Really, probably within 24 hours, he was the main suspect. Very
Absolutely.
much so.
Laura Gillespie, this has been such a big thing here in Kissimmee, and it's just drawn out for a long time. Nobody likes this guy. Jury is going to be hard to get. Laura, I wouldn't doubt that the defense in this case asked for a change of venue because everyone knows this case and everyone that lives there. You're right. It would be very difficult to seat a juror that hasn't formed an opinion in this case or hasn't heard of this case. So, as in so many of these cases that have high profile and so much press and so much coverage, people have drawn an opinion, and we all have an opinion. And so just think of trying to put together a jury that is impartial against Stephan Sterns. And you got to do it twice because he's going to have 2 trials in this case. And I can't see this cowardly man pleading guilty. He's a coward. He doesn't even show up to court. He's a whiner. The things that he's accused of doing, just absolutely horrific. So you're very correct when you say, how are they going to get, I use my New York accent. I should have said going. I said gonna. How are they going to get impartial jurors in the Kissimmee, Florida area? Very, very, very difficult. I'm going to play this from WKMG from Florida.
Case surrounding the man accused of killing a 13-year-old girl named Madeline Soto. Stephan Sterns is facing the death penalty and is pleading not guilty. He had 2 pretrial hearings today. News 6's Laverne McGee has details.
I was here for the afternoon hearing at the Osceola County Courthouse, where Sterns' attorney would not comment on camera. She did give me her card. I rode down the elevator with her. She said that this case is extensive. There were 2 pretrial hearings today. The first one continued into the second hearing this afternoon because the defense said they needed more time.
I'd like to set the matter for October 14th, which is a Monday at 9 o'clock, please. By that date, I'll ask the parties to please coordinate with each other.
Sterns was not in court today because he waived his right to appear. He's pleaded not guilty in the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, his girlfriend's daughter.
My daughter was dropped off.
Soto was 13 years old when she was reported missing by her mother on February 26th. She was found dead on March 1st by deputies searching a wooded area off Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. Police believe that Sterns murdered the 13-year-old girl at her Kissimmee apartment. Investigators say surveillance video shows Sterns leaving the apartment with her body and then driving to the St. Cloud area where she was later found. Sterns also faces dozens more charges stemming from what investigators say are disturbing pictures and video found on his phone depicting sexual abuse of a child.
Instead of it being on a pretrial docket, that it go onto a status docket.
Both the murder charge and the matter involving the videos and photos of sexual abuse will be addressed at the next court date of Monday, October 14th at 9 a.m. Laverne.
So there you have it. I mean, yes, these are court dates. It is moving. The wheels of justice are turning quite slowly. But what we all have to realize is there's 2 trials, or they're setting up for 2 trials, and they cannot run simultaneously. So the first one is going to be the 60 felony charges based on the images on his phone. And that next court date is August 19th. And that's just for a hearing. And then they'll push that to September, and they'll push that to November, and they'll push that probably will not go until 2025, sometime into 2025. But as this occurs, the prosecution is crossing their T's and dotting their I's and making sure that this guy is going to get nailed to the cross, because I shouldn't even use that term cross. Well, he's going to get nailed because he's an evil monster, as was described by his own mother. And if all of the images on that phone are true in depicting what he did to this little girl, 13-year-old girl, starting 5 years ago, I don't think there's anyone in this audience or anyone in the Kissimmee, Florida, that would disagree that he deserves the death penalty. Mike?
Yeah, Bill, the case with the photographs and the essay of poor Maddie, that's probably much easier to present to jurors because you have all of that evidence that is right off the phone. And so, you'll get a person who's an expert, on downloading all these images and, going to phones, look at the software and getting all the pictures and recovering all of these things. And so that's excellent. And that person can talk as an expert witness and show the pictures. And then you can have someone talk about the background. What was the date on the picture? Where was it taken? We know it was taken in the particular room because we could look at the color of the wallpaper or the walls and that sort of thing, of the furniture, and compare it to pictures of the way it looked on the day February 26th, that sort of thing. So it makes it really easier for the jury to digest all that. And so you're not going to have, people talking about, like maybe particular, like a shooting that you may have investigated, Phil may have investigated, or I've been to, where you're getting people saying, 15 different contradictory things at 3:00 in the morning at a particular location where somebody was shot and the bullets were flying and people were ducking. This is a much easier, straightforward case to do. And so I think that is definitely going to happen first. The state wants it to happen first. The problem for the defense on that case is that, they're going to have to get someone, if they can, I doubt it, who's going to have to throw some, doubt upon the images or something like that, or question the way they were downloaded or some sort of technical thing. But that's the first one to go. And I think that case I don't think that'll be a very long case. I think it'll be a very brief case, but that's got to happen first. I would hope that would happen by Christmas because that's plenty of time. And then I think, as me and Phil would think, probably spring of 2025 for the homicide case.
We all have our questions about this woman on the screen right here. And I think that I think she's involved. I 100% think she's involved in this. And so far, we, the general public and the podcasting world, do not know. We don't know if she's going to be charged because we don't know where she is. We haven't heard anything about the continuing investigation. Will she be a witness? But they don't need her as a witness, in my opinion. I think it was just published that they have 177 witnesses. They have all the time in the world to prepare their case, cross their T's, dot their I's. Those pictures on the phone. As you said, Mike, they're going to vet the backgrounds of that. Where did this take place? Did it take place inside the condo? Where was it? And they're going to verify that. Certain things they're going to be able to make identifications without getting too graphic. But how, as a defense attorney, can you defend against what were there, 1,400 images or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, it was crazy number.
How would you defend against that?
Billy, the only way I think you could is if you did have someone who perhaps was an expert on the phone and say, look, these images are not clear. Maybe when the picture was taken, it's really the background isn't sharp enough. The colors are off. It could be someone else in the home that may have had access to the phone. We don't always keep our phones with us 24/7. He may want to, maybe he would even dare get up on the witness stand in his own defense and said, I left my phone, on the table or left it somewhere in the living room. It could have been somebody used my phone and took these pictures.